Did you know there's a psychic fair at the Voyager today?
I heard about it, yeah.
Do you believe in that shit?
Sometimes yeah, sometimes no.
Do you think any of the psychics up there will have special powers that can tell Ash's future today?
I very much doubt it. But you never know.
I guess we will see.
How would you characterize people that need answers in their lives from psychics?
Needy.
Needy, huh? You think that we may encounter some charlatans in there today, but you also think that there may be something to some of this stuff, right?
I think that the psychic itself themselves are irrelevant. I think it's really just a way of communicating with yourself. I think they're just the ones that are facilitated by reading the cards because they understand how to read the patterns. But then them themselves don't do anything when it comes to tarot. I think it's between you and the deck.
And that's the definition of a medium then, right?
That's right.
It's between you and the cards or the stones or the crystals or,
That's right.
or the tea leaves or...
That's right.
Interesting.
I am into crystals. I am. I collect them.
You collect them?
So do I.
Why?
Why? Because crystals and gemstones have certain metaphysical properties that assist you in achieving different altered states.
What would you describe as an altered state?
How do you describe an altered state? Being able to perceive reality from a unique vantage point that normally isn't available to.
And each crystal I have, I keep it in a small box that's open at the foot of my bed or at the head of my bed that I use for my dream state, to alter my dream state and the energies that I produce while dreaming. It helps for protective states, and the entire time that Lex was in the belly, I wore nothing but amber, which is supposed to be a protective stone. So all the energies that come out of the amber are supposed to be for strength and endurance and power. So that's why a lot of people enjoy amber. And I've got actually multiple crystals that we use, and I agree with Paul, they're for altered states of being. When I meditate and do yoga, I wear my amethyst or different crystals to sort of achieve different states. If you want a relaxed state or an intuitive state or to see into the future or to see sort of what's going wrong inside yourself, you wear or use different crystals for those powers. So they're very beneficial, but you have to be careful because some crystals aren't actual crystals. They're just rocks made to look like crystals. So they're actually not real at all, and you're just using a rock.
With tarot, there's specific patterns, right? Depending on what you're looking for, and they understand those patterns, and probably through experience have learned what each card means, and then can explain what each card means.
And then because all of the symbolism is so ambiguous, the individual can inject their own understanding into it, and then they're gonna feel like the engine has led them to conclusions, right? That come to them, even though they're generating their own conclusions. They think it's coming from the cards or from the medium.
I think it's coming from you,
Yeah.
right? Like I think the
But
cards.
the illusion is that it comes from outside, right? Because the cards or the medium provide perspective, right?
Here's a question for you, Tony. What's outside? What is outside of you? Maybe, perhaps my perspective is that there is no outside of you.
Perspective is outside of you.
Right.
That's the
It's just the
definition of
illusion of
perspective.
separation, right?
Right.
They're just-
So, by definition, perspective is that which is outside of you. So when you see something from a perspective, which is provided by cards or a medium or stones or whatever, then that's outside of you because it's a different perspective.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But in reality, at the core, everything is connected, right? Like if you look at everything from a perspective of energy, everything's connected. So there really is no outside of you. All they are is an aspect of you reflecting back to you what it is that you need to know.
So that's a mystical statement you're making, like Atman is Brahman.
I
am the universe.
Yes, absolutely. It's the perspective of oneness, right?
So this might be just a cheap, highly commercialized way of realizing you're at one with the universe.
See, I can be the best reader in the world for you, and fuck royally for your friend.
Yeah.
There's a lot of variables, and that's
Depends on how you tune into people, right?
Perspective and all that stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Now, perspective must be
How you look at things.
What's that?
How you look at things.
How I look at things.
Yeah, see, it's the same thing.
And you provide the direction to that perspective?
I can, but I can't. See, I cannot
Depends on
tell
the person.
anybody what to do.
Right.
I just pick
But
up the strongest lines of positive.
if I have the ability to gain the perspective that you could provide, then you could provide it.
If I see you on a downhill slide to hell and I can give you a good swift kick in the ass, yes, I change your perspective. I cannot take away an individual's right to improve or fuck up their life as they see fit. Not quite in those words, but
Yeah. Huh, okay. I think, like, one thing I noticed when I went in there and talked to a lot of people is they chose the psychic they wanted to talk to
Yeah,
based on
that's the
instinct.
key.
Instinct.
yep, that's the best way to do
And I
it.
asked, why did you choose Ginger Ella or whatever? Ginger Ella.
Yep, just a pull.
And they were saying, I don't know. I was like, instincts? And I said,
that's what
yeah,
it
it
is.
must be.
Yeah,
And then,
well,
why did you choose Debbie? Why did you choose Ravenhawk?
See, that's
you know,
what I tell people. If you're pulled towards somebody, that's the person to go see. If you're not, take the hint and save your fucking money. Okay, never fall for the sales pitch. Okay, because if you're pulled,
But you guys aren't
towards-
doing sales pitches.
No.
People are just like
Some
looking
do.
at you
Some
guys
do.
operate, right? And they're maybe picking up body language of the people you're.
If you're pulled towards somebody, even if you don't like what that person says, they got something to say to you.
Yeah. Okay. Very interesting. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. I was pulled towards talking to you,
Yeah.
and it's not even going to be me. It's going to be my friend.
Yeah, but again, how's his Paul?
Her Paul.
Oh, wow.
How did you know that? Why did you think it was a he, not a she? It's a she, dude. You're a psychic. You should have known that.
Actually, book ahead for Solvent at the Psychic Fair at the Voyager.
Good mommy moment. 1.
The future is yet to be told.
I'm not going to change jobs. I like what I do. Right off the bat, you
And
see
you,
where that's
well, you
going.
must tell her, like, hey, maybe it's not up to you that you're going to change jobs. You could
So
lose
I just,
your job.
I just kept going. Okay, now this woman was always going through. And anyway, make a long story short, I got home and says, "Did you see that?" She said, "What?" Yep. That's a good thing I didn't tell her about her marriage. She's constantly talking how good her marriage is. Okay. Anyway, make a long story short. 3 weeks later, her wedding rings were gone. She fought me. I'm not changing jobs. I like what I do.
Was she a
Not
non-believer,
me.
or what
I
happened
didn't
there?
say she was changing jobs. I said your job's changing. There's a difference. There's where I'll ask dumb questions. Okay, frame of mind. Remember, a job change from doing the same thing somewhere else, something different where you are, going back to school, career moves,
Yeah.
all job changes. So
Okay.
yeah, that's why I'll ask a dumb question to find out where along this level it's at. It's the same thing. I'll look at somebody and go, "Are you married?" And they said, "Don't." She said, one of them, I looked and says, "Are you married?" She says, "Don't you see?" And I looked at her and says, "I'm picking up 3. The asshole you were married to, the one you're involved with now, and the one you really want. I just want to know where you're at."
How did you become a psychic?
Oh, I don't know, just drag me into it. That's what I say, how it was happening, you know.
You were called to it.
Yeah, well, it pulled me in like a vacuum cleaner. You know what I mean? And just the game, once you start opening, you gotta start using it, and I went down. I actually went to see somebody one time, and they looked at me and said, "Use it or lose it.
What?
Use it or lose your fucking mind, one or the other." That's why a lot of the
Oh, so
homeless
if
people
you
are
have
all
a
over
gift?
talking.
Oh, okay.
You know,
you
I
have a
just-
gift that if you don't use it, you could pay a high price.
It turns inwards. And years ago, when I first started, as I was still learning, again, the difference between a professional and amateur, as I was still learning control, if I wasn't doing readings, if I was busy and not doing readings for 4 or 5 days, the nightmares would start. It all turned inwards.
Oh no. Do you need me to tell you anything about my friend before we sign up?
Nope, I don't want to know anything. I've had people call me up and start telling me, and I've canceled the appointment. I don't want to know. Fuck all.
You'd like to get it in the ring
Yep.
and figure it out
Because
better.
prior knowledge can change things. Even still, some of the clients through the years that have become friends that I've got to know, prior knowledge changes things. You know, it can tone things down, to make people look at things a little bit differently. You know, when you see somebody fucking up and you can't tell them. You know what I mean? Because again, lessons in life.